Namaste everybody, Irina here. Thank you for joining me in this yoga video. I invite you to take a cross-legged seated position. We're going to start the practice very shortly. In this video, I'd like to pay more attention into using one of the essential props in yoga practice, which is a strap. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a belt. I think those things are underestimated. And especially if you've got certain restrictions in your range of motion or restrictions because of the tightness in the body, this can come very handy when you are approaching perhaps maybe a challenging pose like dancer's pose or half moon. And I'd like to encourage you to be playful in this yoga practice. Use the strap and approach the complex and maybe advanced pose, yoga pose, from a place of, well, okay, I don't need to nail it, I don't need to get into it for straight away, first time right, but I'll be open to try, I'll be open to be mindful in observing what's happening in the body, especially if it is a balancing pose, where do I shift my weight, what muscles are engaging. So being observant and being open in your approach to the complex poses. So we'll start the practice as usual from centering, so preparing for the practice, closing the gaze. Let's bring some awareness into the breath. Let's relax through the hands, positioning them on the thighs, keeping your chest open. Keeping your back straight, so trying not to be way too relaxed that you start rounding through the back and just like slouching. So we want the alertness of the body, but it also a balance. So we don't want to be too rigid, so like holding the whole tension. So finding that sweet spot in between. I'm currently using the block, which helps me to elevate the pelvis and allows me to tilt the pelvis slightly forward, which in return allows me to sit with my back straight for a longer period of time. Your breath becomes prolonged. So inhaling and exhaling slightly longer than usual at your natural rhythm, natural pace of the breath. If you want to bring that deep abdominal breathing or breathing into your chest, but mindfully. Or perhaps practicing three-part breathing, belly, chest, and the back of the throat. Very gently we're going to start introducing the movement into the shoulders. So very mindfully paying attention to the sensations in the upper body. What can you feel when you're moving and making the circular movements with both of your shoulder blades? What are the sensations in the upper arms? Keeping the chest open and changing rotation to the other side. Okay, let's take a lateral stretch of the right side. So your left hand is on the floor, the left elbow perhaps bent. We're trying to find that length from the waist. That line goes all the way into your hand and then into the other side. Back into the center, straight away into the twist. And twist to the opposite side. keeping your chest open, keeping your shoulders retracted. Back into the center, back into the all four. Keeping your strap just handy in front of you. Tucking the toes. Inhaling, let's arch, look up. On exhale, let's round through the back and look at the navel and move the mat away, perhaps posing here and then returning into the extension of the spine and stretching through the throat, stretching through the chest, exhaling, bringing the shoulders apart from each other, rounding, engaging your solar plexus and looking at the navel. And from here, let's lift the knees off the floor, pedal through the feet, warm up your hamstrings, notice the sensation in the ankles, bringing some weight into the hands, paying attention to the sensation in the upper arms, underarms. Are you hyperextending in the elbows? So making sure that there is a flexion and softness in the elbows, especially people who hyperextend. Walking your feet forward, keeping them about width hip apart, and then rounding through the back and relaxing the upper body. Your upper body is soft. It's like melting forward. You can keep your knees quite soft if the hamstrings tight, but if you do want to engage your hamstrings, maybe trying to straighten the knees, and you'll start feeling the sensation in the back of your hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold, round through the back. And inhale very gently with no rush. We're coming into the upright position, arms up. Exhale through the center. Inhale, bring the arms up. Look up, exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands under the feet. Inhale halfway. Exhale, point your elbows to the sides and bringing the chest closer to the thighs. 2 breaths here. Release your hands, step back with your right foot back, drop the right knee to the floor, bringing your elbows behind you, interlacing the fingers, sinking into the hips, opening through the chest, stretching through the throat, and looking up. Or closing the gaze if you wish. Bringing your hands to the floor, stepping back into the down dog. Dropping the knees, dragging the chest, keeping your sit bones quite high. And coming into a very gentle back bend, Bhujangasana. Elbows close to the body, framing the body with the elbows, tuck the toes, lift into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg forward, left knee to the floor. Interlacing fingers behind you, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest and looking up. Maybe a few breaths here, 2 to 3 breaths. Bringing your hands down, stepping forward, feet width hip apart. Inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, plant your hands under the feet and stick your elbows to the sides, so pointing the elbows. Release your hands, inhale halfway, exhale fold, and inhale all the way up, Uttanasana, exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, arms up, look up, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. This time we're gonna hook the big toe with middle and index finger. Again, point your elbows to the side and bring your chest towards the thighs. Keep elongating through the spine. 2 to 3 breaths here. Releasing your hands to the floor, stepping back with the left foot, left knee to the floor, engaging with your shoulders, hands behind you, clasping, sinking simultaneously forward with the hips, and bringing your shoulders away. So nice opening of the chest, lifting the rib cage, looking up, or maybe closing the gaze, which will affect your balance if you do choose to close the gaze. Bringing the hands down to the floor, stepping back into the down dog, dropping the knees, holding your breath, chest, chin, and coming into Bhujangasana. Keeping your toes pointed, tuck the toes, lift into Adho Mukha Svanasana, left foot forward. This time right knee to the floor, open up, interlace the fingers, sink forward. Either look up, or if you're feeling dizzy, by looking up and stretching through the throat. If you suffer from low or high blood pressure, just look forward. Bringing your hands down, stepping forward, feet width hip apart. Inhale, halfway left. Hook the big toe with middle and index finger. Exhale, bring the chest closer to the thighs, elbows to the sides. Few breaths here. Releasing the hands. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, and inhale all the way up. And exhale through the center. Samastiti. Grab your strap. So shifting your weight into the left foot, making sure that you are standing on the flat surface. You may even want to stand on the floor for the balancing poses. So bringing your strap under your foot, and here you can fold a couple of times the strap, straightening the leg, keeping your chest open, keeping your shoulders retracted, lifting your leg, finding your drishti. And drishti is the gaze that we want to direct. I would recommend to find a point just on the horizon and below, so pointing your gaze. Perineum squeeze, the bundle of muscles that are so crucial for standing poses, strong standing poses. And from here we're gonna open up. You may want to release your strap further and look towards, so we're opening to the right and we are looking over the left. Back into the center and releasing the strap. Just shake off your legs, keep your strap handy. Let's take vinyasa. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, we're gonna fold forward. Inhale, halfway lengthen, plant your hands, step into the plank. From here you can do knees, chest, chin, or full chaturanga into the up dog. Tucking the toes into the down dog, and 5 breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana, making sure that your fingers are spread. You're pushing the mat away. Feet are about width hip apart. Engaging your bandhas, your locks, so squeezing the pelvic floor or lifting the pelvic floor. Navel drawn in. Maybe restricting the back of your throat, engaging with your Ujjayi breath. Next, breath in deep, breath out, bend the knees, look forward, step, walk, or jump. Inhale, halfway lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and inhale all the way up. And Samastiti. Okay, other side. So making sure now you're shifting the weight into your right foot, lifting the left, hooking your strap here. For some of you, you may want to create the loop, but you may hold on to the big toe. Or keeping your strap. And here we simultaneously want to bring the chest slightly forward, but without rounding through the back, keeping engagement with the upper body. Remember, your gaze is directed to the static non-moving point, and that's important. And from here, if you want to open up and look towards the opposite direction. Another option is to open up with a bent knee. Back into the center. Release the strap. Shake off your feet. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lengthen, plant your hands, step into the plank. Chaturanga. Into the up dog. Tuck the toes. Down dog, 5 breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, bending the knees, looking forward, stepping, walking, jumping, inhaling, halfway lengthening. Exhaling, folding, rounding through the back, and inhaling all the way up. And exhale to the center. So from here, let's get into the dancer's pose. And it can be quite frustrating, especially if you're quite tight in the hamstring or in the quads, in the glutes as well. And also if you're struggling with the balance. So making sure that we're starting on the right side, it means we're shifting the weight into the left. I'm spreading the toes. I'm gonna kick back with my right leg, and I'm gonna find, you can use your strap and then keep elevating your right leg, and perhaps for the balance, bringing your arm, your left arm forward, keeping your chest elevated, rib cage expanded. And from here, we're going to slowly transition into the half moon pose. So bringing the hand, the left hand onto the floor, and I'd like you to open up your right hip. You can look down, or you can try and transition your gaze up. It will mess up your balance, I promise you that. And from here, we're gonna come back into the, slowly, gently, into the upright position, releasing the leg. And another quite advanced pose is bringing your right leg, right foot, top of the foot inside. So creating a half lotus on the right side. Your knee is pointing down, and really careful here. If you're finding that's too much, you can use Vrikshasana, the tree pose. If you want to challenge yourself, creating the loop with your strap. The strap is going to be pointed towards the direction of your foot, bringing your right hand behind you and grabbing the strap, or grabbing the big toe. Inhaling, and on the exhale, perhaps lowering down. and having a few breaths here. Squeezing the perineum and gently coming out. Very careful not to have any acute pain in the knee. If that's the case, that's a no-go. And then your option here, the Vrikshasana, the tree pose. Okay, let's take vinyasa before we can go into the other side of the body. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lengthen, plant your hands, plank, from plank chaturanga, into the up dog, into the down dog. Inhaling. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step, walk, jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale all the way up into the Samasthiti. Okay, let's do the other side of the body. So, shifting your weight into the right. Okay, if you want to not to use the strap, you can go into the dancer's pose without it if you do want to use your strap, because that can be quite handy for the half moon. So let's kick back. Let's lift, 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 lift. Keep kicking back with your left leg. So there is an arch in the back. Keep the chest open. And from here, lowering gently, gently, gently your right hand into the floor, into the mat, and perhaps opening up your hip, your left hip here. Keeping your shoulders retracted, maybe looking up. Looking down, and very softly, with control, which I lost control, coming up into the Samasthiti. Okay, half bound lotus with the forward fold, which means we're gonna bring the left foot inside of the crease here, and you will feel some pressure of the top of the foot pressing into the thigh. Okay, creating the loop here with your strap. It means that your right arm goes behind you. No, sorry. Your left hand goes behind you. Gonna inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to fold forward. And we're gonna breathe in, making sure that your knees pointing down. Or alternative is the tree pose Vrikshasana. And from here, gently coming up, using your core muscles, your body to lift the chest, release the strap. Samasthiti, inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lengthen, plant your hands, plank. Chaturanga, into the up dog. Tucking the toes, down dog. Crossing the legs, jumping through if you wish. Coming into the seated, bringing your strap. Hooking the feet with the strap, maybe looping around your hands, lifting the feet, and then using your upper body to press, using your strength in the upper arms. Keep your shoulders retracted and bringing the legs closer to the chest and the chest closer to the legs. So simultaneously, you're trying to pull yourself towards the center. And from here, very gently Bringing your legs forward, soles of the feet together, slightly away from the groin. We're creating that diamond shape with the legs, releasing the strap, inhaling, exhaling, rounding through the back. More of a restorative version. We start winding the energy down.